The phone buzzed on the kitchen counter, its screen flashing a name that sent a jolt through my chest. Lila. My wife's friend. The notification glowed in the dim morning light, a single line that made my coffee mug tremble in my hand. Hey, are you free tonight? Just us. My pulse hammered, not from excitement, but from the gut-punch realization that something was unraveling. Something I'd been too blind to see. The apartment smelled of burnt toast and last night's argument, the air thick with unspoken words. I glanced at Sarah's empty chair, her coffee untouched, and felt the weight of her absence settle like damp fog. For weeks, Sarah had been a ghost in our home. She'd slip in late, her laughter reserved for phone calls with her friends, her eyes darting away when I tried to meet them. It's just stress, she'd say, her voice clipped, like she was reciting a script. I'd nod, swallowing the unease, convincing myself it was temporary. But the silences grew heavier, the kind that hum with secrets. Her friends, Lila, Jess, and Mia, had become her orbit, their group chats buzzing like a hive I wasn't invited to join. They say I need space, she told me once, her tone sharp, as if I were the one crowding her. I didn't argue. I never did. Now Lila's text burned into my retinas. I set the mug down, the ceramic clinking too loudly against the counter. My mind raced, stitching together fragments. Sarah's late nights, her sudden coldness, the way Lila's gaze lingered too long at our last dinner party. Was this why Sarah had pulled away? Had her friends been whispering poison, or was something else at play? I typed a reply. What's this about? And hit send before doubt could stop me. The kitchen clock ticked, each second a heartbeat, as I waited for an answer that might crack my world open. The day dragged, each hour a slow drip of dread. I worked from home, my laptop screen a blur of spreadsheets I couldn't focus on. My thoughts kept circling back to Sarah's face last night, her lips tight, her eyes distant as she muttered. I just need time to think. Think about what? Us. Her? Them? The apartment felt too small, the walls pressing in, the faint scent of her lavender perfume lingering like a ghost. I checked my phone obsessively. Lila hadn't replied. By evening, I was a mess of nerves, my stomach churning as I paced the living room. The city outside hummed, car horns, distant laughter, the clatter of a street vendor's cart. I stood by the window, watching the streetlights flicker on, their orange glow pooling on the pavement like spilled paint. My phone buzzed. Lila again. Meet me at the Rusty Anchor. 8 p.m. Please. No explanation, just urgency. I stared at the words, my chest tight. This wasn't just a friendly drink. It felt like a trap, or a confession. I grabbed my jacket, the leather creaking under my grip, and headed out. The bar was a short walk, but every step felt like wading through molasses. The air was crisp, carrying the tang of autumn leaves and exhaust. My mind churned. Was Lila testing me? Was Sarah behind this? Or was I paranoid? Seeing betrayal where there was only misunderstanding? I wanted to believe the latter, but the knot in my gut told a different story. The Rusty Anchor was dim, its air thick with the smell of stale beer and fried onions. Lila sat at a corner booth, her dark hair catching the neon glow of a Budweiser sign. She looked up as I approached, her smile nervous, her fingers twisting a cocktail straw. You came, she said, her voice low, almost drowned by the jukebox's croon. Yeah, I said, sliding into the booth. My throat felt dry, the words sticking. What's this about, Lila? She leaned forward, her eyes searching mine, and I noticed the faint tremble in her hands. I've been meaning to talk to you, she said. About Sarah. About us. The word us landed like a stone in my chest. I waited, my breath shallow, as she continued. She's been different, hasn't she? Distant. Cold. It's not just you noticing. I nodded, my jaw tight. She says it's her friend's advice. To find herself. Lila's laugh was sharp, bitter. Her friends. Right. Jess and Mia. They've been filling her head with ideas. Telling her she's trapped, that she needs to break free. She paused, her gaze dropping to the table. But it's more than that. I've seen things, heard things. I think she's seeing someone. The words hit like a physical blow, stealing my breath. I wanted to laugh it off, to call it absurd, but the pieces clicked into place. Her late nights, the locked phone, the way she flinched when I touched her. Who? I managed, my voice barely a whisper. Lila hesitated, her eyes flickering with something. Guilt? Fear? I don't know for sure, she said. But I've seen her with Mia. Too close. Too often. She reached across the table, her fingers brushing mine. I hate seeing you hurt, Tom. You deserve better. That's why I asked you here. I care about you. I pulled my hand back, the warmth of her touch feeling like a betrayal of its own. My mind spun, torn between rage and disbelief. Sarah and Mia? It didn't make sense, yet it did. The late-night whispers, the way Mia's name lit up Sarah's face. But Lila's confession hung in the air, complicating everything. Was she trying to help, or was this a move to drive a wedge deeper? I left the bar in a daze, the city blurring around me. My phone stayed silent. No text from Sarah, no explanations. When I got home, the apartment was dark, her shoes missing from the entryway. I sank onto the couch, the fabric rough under my palms, and let the truth settle. Sarah was slipping away, maybe already gone. Lila's words echoed. You deserve better. But did I? Had I missed the signs, ignored her needs, pushed her into someone else's arms? The door creaked open hours later. Sarah stood there, her coat damp from the rain, her eyes wide when she saw me awake. Tom, she said, her voice soft, almost fragile. We need to talk. I stood, my heart pounding, the room tilting. About what? I asked, though I already knew. The air between us crackled, heavy with the weight of unspoken truths. She stepped closer, her perfume cutting through the stale air. I've been lying, she said, her voice breaking. Not about another person. About me. I've been scared to tell you. I don't know who I am anymore. Mia's been helping me figure it out, but it's not what you think. I'm not cheating. I'm just lost. Her words should have soothed me, but they didn't. They felt like half-truths, a shield for something deeper. Then why shut me out? I asked, my voice raw. Why let your friends decide our marriage? She flinched, tears welling. Because I'm terrified, Tom. Terrified of losing you, but more terrified of staying and not knowing myself. I wanted to hold her, to fix it, but Lila's text flashed in my mind, a seed of doubt I couldn't unplant. And Lila, I said, my voice hard. She asked me out tonight. Said she's worried about me. What's that about, Sarah? Her face crumpled, shock and betrayal flickering in her eyes. Lila, she whispered. She told me to give you space. Said you needed it. The realization hit us both, Lila playing both sides, sowing discord for her own gain. Sarah's hand reached for mine, trembling. Tom, I didn't know. The room spun, the truth shifting beneath us. Sarah wasn't cheating, but trust was fractured, manipulated by someone we both thought was a friend. We stood there, hands clasped, the rain drumming outside, knowing that whatever came next, forgiveness, confrontation, or collapse, would redefine us forever.